Hey, good cat people, what is going on? What is going on? All right, see, we connecting here? We should be connecting here. Yeah, it looks like we're connecting. Okay. It's having a hard time catching up, I see. All right, y'all are starting to connect. I see you guys now. I see you guys. All right, we're nice and good. What's up, y'all? Here we are for November 22nd of 2021. We're going to officially start the show in a hot minute here. I want to give those of you that's taking the time out, maybe let that dog out one more time for the night. Maybe you putting that trash out real quick, or you want to put that trash out real quick. You can go ahead and do it right now because we're going to officially start the show in about 2 minutes tops. Look, I'll be honest with you guys up front. As far as tonight's WWE RAW goes, a bit of a so-so episode. Honestly, I was expecting a lot more sizzle, being as how we're coming fresh off of the Survivor Series pay-per-view and everything. So this is Survivor Series post-Fallout, and it pretty much was very lackluster, I would have to say. But I think the real sizzle, the real story coming from out of this episode is what all had came about with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, in case you guys did not tune in to Raw tonight, Seth Rollins had got attacked by a fan. So we'll get into that and a lot more on this show. But that really was the main headliner for tonight's show, sadly. So we'll get into it in just a hot minute. How you guys doing, though? You guys are all right? Was your weekend fantastic? I hope it was. This is it, man. We're finally here. It's all about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving week is here. It seems like it was an eternity away just not that long ago, but now we're finally here. And hopefully you guys have made your preparations. You guys are ready to rock and roll for Thanksgiving. So again, if you guys are going to be doing some traveling, hopefully you've already began your traveling, but I know some of you guys like to kind of leave out a little bit later. Remember, the more later you leave out going into the actual holiday, the more congested it's going to be as far as your commute. So hopefully you guys have gotten a head start on that, and safe travels. That's ultimately my main message to you guys. Hopefully safe travels you all have wherever you're going to be going and everything. So I'm going to be taking it easy. I'm actually going to be having a nice small meal, little get together. And other than that, that's really it. I'm really taking it easy. I'm being very, very conservative this year. So that's it in a nutshell. All right, so we're gonna officially start the show right about now. I just got to do some last minute tagging, and you guys are rocking and rolling, and we are now set. All right, let's do this. So welcome to those of you that's tuning in live, checking out a new RCWR show covering the latest and all things wrestling, entertainment, and beyond since 2011. Monday night, November 22nd of 2021, a couple of minutes removed after Raw has gone off the air. And yo, as I was saying just a couple of minutes ago during the pre-show warm-up here a little bit of pre-show Yackadie Yack. Raw, a bit of a so-so episode, but sadly, anything good that most folks felt, well, you know what, for what that was worth, that actually was all right. All of that got overshadowed because of a fan that attacked Seth Rollins. Yeah, it's that time once again, y'all. Crazy ass motherfuckers that, you know, I don't know what's more sickening and disturbing. A fan that has paid pretty good money for coming to, of all the WWE shows, you're coming to a Raw show fresh off of a major pay-per-view, and in this case being Survivor Series. I don't know if it's more because the fan just essentially, through all logic and however much money they had put out there, they just pretty much put all of that out the freaking window because they wanted to have their 15 seconds of fame, and they just had to go after a WWE superstar. I don't know if I find that to be the most depressing, saddening, disturbing of the whole ordeal, or the fans that are the so-called fans that are vlogging about this or doing, instant reaction videos to this, pretending that they have a PhD and personality traits, audio enhancing, and all that other shit, to the point that they're saying that Seth Rollins is racist. I don't know if you guys have seen, but yeah, that is like so freaking mind-blowing. I'm gonna just put all that in a nice, pretty little ball. We're gonna put it in a box. We're gonna cover all the angles here. So let's really set this up properly, all right? We're gonna be talking about Raw for sure, but I mean, some of the stuff that I have to say about Raw, we're pretty much gonna be in and out. There's a lot we can get into, but honestly, I did not think we were gonna be kicking off the show talking about a fan attacking a WWE superstar. Honestly, I got footage too, by the way. I tried to cut all the footage I could together for you guys to be able to show you if you haven't made your rounds on social media. Maybe you're out and about, you haven't really seen what the hell's been going down and everything. So I gotta kick this off properly, because I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but at one part during Monday's Raw, we saw Seth Rollins. He was in the ring and he was cutting a nice little promo. He was salivating over the fact that he was the lone survivor of his Survivor Series team. And he was just basking in the glory of it and everything. And he kind of alluded to the fact that he's pretty much, now that he's got this victory under his belt, he's pretty much now setting his eyes on reclaiming the WWE Championship. And so all of this that's going on, we see Finn Balor come out. Balor, Rollins, they start brawling with one another. And the match never officially started, because these guys, they are just going back and forth with each other. They're brawling outside the stage and, you know, all of that. They're just, and it was great. It was great how they actually had this set up. It actually took several minutes for this match to actually go down, believe it or not, because the match actually did happen. I'm looking at my show notes here. If you guys can bear with me a second here. I'm looking at my show notes here. And actually, no, the match never did officially start. We were supposed to get these two guys going at it, but it never officially started. And so eventually, closing moments of this one, we see something come about where, bear with me a second here. I'm just looking at some, making my rounds on social media, making sure I'm not seeing anything new as far as the fan that had attacked Seth Rollins. So if you guys want to keep me up to date on everything that's going on, definitely you can sound off. Just make sure you cross-reference your links and all that good stuff, okay? So yeah, they're going at it. Seth leaves to the ring. He stops. He turns. He's pretty much not done yet. He's entering the ring again. And, you know, these guys are just pretty much brawling with each other. And then as Seth is walking up the ramp, he's attacked by somebody in red sweatpants. And you're just going, the hell is going on? You know, at first you're kind of going, oh, okay, this is part of the storyline. Is this maybe one of the Street Profits? Because we've been seeing them pushing the red and all that. You're going, is this one of the Street Profits? Let me shut up for a bit. Let me roll some beautiful B footage for you guys. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Now, I will let this play again. Hopefully, I'm not coming in. I'm trying to lower the volume a little bit. All right. Because I realize we're going to have those that's going to be checking out the show for on demand and on the downloads. They're going to be checking out the audio version of this. So I want to make sure we're giving play-by-play to our audio friends on what's going on. But stuff like this, really, you should be checking out the live web stream. Remember, we're live Monday nights after Raw goes off the air. Wednesdays after Dynamite goes off the air as well, and after every pay-per-view. So let me walk our audio friends through that once again, what just played. All right, so, and I'll give you a walkthrough. So as we can see here, Seth Rollins is walking up the ramp. You got the cameraman right in front of him. And then wham! I mean, the guy in the red sweatpants and black shirt just comes from Seth Rollins' right-hand side there and just tackles the hell out of him. And you can see they're brawling there for a little bit. Now Seth Rollins, I got to give him mad props because he's showing great restraints. He would have had every right to be swinging on this fan, but he did not swing at him. And you notice by the time Seth Rollins could really respond, you know, it was already too late. You see him look out the corner of his eye as he's checking his face there. Let's roll that again. You see him there as he's checking out what's going on here. Now, let me just pause it right here. There you go. There you go. So, I mean, by the time Seth realizes kind of what the hell's going on, this guy has already done the freaking tackle. Okay, let me see how much I can blow this up here, by the way. Let me see how good we can get this expanded. If we can get this a little, you know, I meant to play around with this earlier during the show. Yeah, I'm going to leave it right there because it's going to get real, well, hang on. Because it's going to get real pixelated. Yeah, let's do it like that. Let's do it like that because it's going to get real pixelated. So that's about as comfortable as I'm going to go blowing it up there. All right, boom. Tackles him down. And now we're going to get you guys another angle. And as we can see right here, here we go. There's a better look at the fan. And he's on top of Seth Rollins. Rollins is doing his best to kind of push this guy off of him and everything. You see we got an official that's right there. We also got a guy in a gray suit off to the left here that's trying to get in there and help, right? See Rollins, he's just trying to get the hell away and everything. All right, now we got another guy in the mix. All right, so we got 3 guys here. All right, we got Rollins again, great restraint. Now we got another guy that's out there, great restraint. All right, so that's it. That's it. Rollins is backing away. There's another guy. And let's minimize this a little bit. Let's minimize this a little bit. All right, minimize that a little bit more. There we go. Let's do it. Let's do it right there. Okay. All right. So, you know, Rollins is, you know, and I just love, see, a lot of people miss this. Everybody's so reactionary, but as I had mentioned to my boy Dick Van Klondike on Twitter, shout out to him. I said, yo, am I the only one that noticed our boy? Mr. Fanny Pack himself, Michael P.S. Hayes coming out there. I know that Fanny Pack anywhere, yo. I like how Michael P.S. Hayes is right there just kind of like, and I'm just wondering, dude, seriously, what are you going to do? Like, it's already over and done with. Seriously, dude, what are you going to do? Right? And it's right around here. If you actually look online, there's actually some other footage where you see Becky Lynch is off to the side and she pretty much was ready to come out as well. You sadly don't see it from that angle I had showed you, but she's there ready to pounce as well. Wait, I got more footage for you guys. So after this attack, basically, now word is apparently this fan was getting rowdy. This fan that attacked Seth Rollins, he actually was getting rowdy in his respected seat. And the crowd that was kind of, you know, in his area, they weren't really feeling him. And apparently, I'm trying to piece together as much information as I can right now. So if you guys want to maybe add something new into the mix that you researched accurately, you can back it up. Feel free to chime in. But apparently, he was rubbing some people off in his respected section. And I'm hearing a story about how one fan was trying to get into it with this guy that ultimately attacked Seth Rollins, and that guy that was trying to get into it with Red Pants got ejected from the arena. This is before the attack on Seth Rollins, right? 2 wrongs don't really make a right, correct? Right, I got that. We got more footage. So here's the events after the attack here. All right, as we can see, they pretty much got our guy now. And they are pretty much escorting his ass. So we're kind of hurting on the pixelations here, but see exactly what's going on here. And I'll let this play one more time. Yeah, see exactly what's going on there. All of a sudden, he's got a coat on. I guess he said, hey, my coat, I need my coat. And I guess they obliged. They hooked him up with his coat. Or maybe he ran down there and right before he was getting ready to attack Seth, maybe he successfully ditched his coat and, right? Maybe that's kind of how it went down. So play-by-play here for our audio listeners. So at this point, they've pretty much taken the fan off around the cut. Behind the cameras, it looks like from this respected angle, it looks like he's now on the side of the hard cameras. So all their equipment set up and all, it looks like he's on that side, right? So you see what you see in the TV with the ring when the wrestlers are looking at the hard camera. He's pretty much behind all of that as they're pretty much quietly trying to take him out this respected way. And we got about 2 brothers that's pretty much strong-arming this dude. And they are just... there's a third guy. There's a third event guy trying to help out as far as how to get this guy out of here. Why are they allowing him enough time to talk some trash? I have no idea. But that is pretty much the end of him as they are showing him to the back. Oh, it ain't done here. It ain't done here. As WWE, they did release a statement, and we got one more piece of footage we can show for you guys as ultimately he got transferred over to the New York police. He got transferred to the local authorities, and here's a little bit of a snapshot right here as far as how that kind of played out. As you can see here, we got NYPD's finest talking to this guy, trying to figure out exactly what the hell is going on, right? And that's pretty much where we are right now on this respected night. That's pretty much where we are with this fan. Now, I want to tackle this a couple of different ways here. And how I lay it all out, it's up to you guys to decide what thought you want to have as you walk away. I just try to do my best to help you all piece together this craziness that's going down. First of all, I'm glad that Seth Rollins is okay. I was a bit concerned if he was going to be pretty rattled up. And honestly, I had the impression that maybe we weren't done with Seth Rollins for tonight. Maybe he was going to be making another appearance. But after what went down tonight, I wasn't quite sure how rattled up he was going to be. And you know what? Great testament to him. Sure enough, we did see him later on in the night. He was involved in the main event match. And I tell you what, he came out there very calm, cool, collected. He came out there with mad swag. Even kind of teased a little bit what went down earlier with his hand gestures, kind of wondering if anybody else was going to be coming and all that. I love the way he did that. So, that's a soldier right there. Nobody would not have faulted him, I honestly believe, if he decided, nah, you know what? I'm honestly good. I'm not interested in coming back out and going through all of that. I'm all right, yo. But the fact that he went out there, and kudos to him. Kudos to him for that. So nice to see that he's okay. Because I know many fans, when we saw this, not for nothing, but those of us that were watching it on TV in real time, when we saw this go down, we were going, what just happened? And we kind of didn't really think anything much of it. But those that were in attendance, they're like, no. This was not part of, no. This was somebody that had no business doing what they did to Rollins. Now, we've got some YouTubers. We've got some writers. We've got some vloggers that are apparently have a PhD. And they know about psychology, mental psychology. They got a doctorate and all this other stuff, enhanced audio and all this other stuff. And we're going with the narrative here that Seth Rollins is fucking racist because he called this guy that was on his ass and everything. And once there was the pull apart, he called this guy a boy. He pretty much... never mind the fact that we got some deranged fucking nut that just decided, I'm going to be part of this show by any means necessary. Never mind that. If that's not the upsetting part. The upsetting part isn't when this guy pounces on a beloved WWE superstar by people of all ages, got the genders, just got all the demographics. Never mind all of that. Those aren't the fighting words. That's not what's going to make you upset as a fan or whatever. No, what's going to make you upset is, God damn it, that's Seth Rollins, that racist piece of shit. He went on ahead and called that black dude a boy. What, if that, so we've got the triggered police that's running around, and they're spinning this into a narrative that they feel fits their respected base, because ultimately for them, what it's all about is they want the clickbaits. They want those hits. They want, okay, enough said. I don't need to go on. Y'all know exactly what time it is. You know exactly what time it is when shit like this goes down. To the YouTubers, to the vloggers, to the, you name it, vloggers, just all of these people that are going and running with the narrative of Seth Rollins is racist because he called this guy a boy. Please, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Especially if you are white and you are saying, newsflash, let us blacks, let us Hispanics, let us Asians, let us state what we feel is discriminating or not. Let us be the ones to jump out there and say, yo, that's racist. That ain't cool. White people, got no problem with you. Longtime listeners that's been checking out my show, no, I love everybody. I don't care about your race. I don't care about your gender. You know, treat me the way I want to be treated. And that's with respect. That's my golden #1 rule. You do that, we going to get along just fine as far as I'm concerned. All right. But don't be so quick to hit the freaking racism button. And you're white. Let us do that. Let us, especially if it's not a case where you're in an interracial relationship, and or maybe you've got interracial kids and you're just, no. We got that covered, okay? Second of all, anybody that is jumping out there making these ridiculous claims about Seth Rollins being racist, and by the way, y'all know Colby is Hispanic, right? Y'all know that, right? I just want to make sure before we going to be running around and, you know, we going to be so quick to hit the freaking racist button and all that, right? I mean, look, granted, there are some people out there, Hispanics, Asians, there are some that can be racist towards, right? It's kind of slim, the odds are very, very low that you run into them, but I admit they do exist, but it's very, very small percentage. But y'all know his name is Colby Lopez, right? Y'all know about his background, right? I'm talking about Seth Rollins. All right, so I just want to make sure we get that out the way first, okay? Right? So anybody else that is claiming this whole racism bullshit, right? Here's the other thing. Y'all ain't never been in a motherfucking fight in your entire life. Seriously. And don't even try to come at me, Lee, but I watch boxing every single weekend. Lee, I order every single UFC pay-per-view, dog. Like, there's a big difference between being a fan of those respective sports and following it and all that, and then actually having your respected share of being involved in fights. I can tell you many times, you're talking to somebody that has been in many fights growing up. Some fights I won, some fights I got my ass whooped. Came with the territory. It is what it is. I've also been in a position where I've had to be a bouncer. I've been in a position where I had to do a form of security work. And whether I liked it or not, I had to actually physically kick people out of buildings because they were trespassing. And sometimes it did not go smoothly. It did not go, please, hi, how are you? Well, I'm just here because I'm told that, apparently you're trespassing, and I just gotta ask you to leave. Could you please? No, I had to be authoritative and all that. And I've had my share of fights. And let me tell you something, and I shouldn't even have to explain this, let alone to white people, but just people in general. Okay, I shouldn't even have to explain this. But if you've been around your fair share of fights and all that other shit, you all know. Okay, oh, what's up? Nah, what's up? No, what's up with you? What's up with you? You want some, son? Yeah. Come on, boy, show me what you got. All right, son, I been see you. Come on, motherfucker. Come on, what's up? Come on, bitch. What's up now? You talking all that motherfucking shit? What's up now? I'm right here, son. What's up? What's up? Come on, boy. What's up? Come on, boy. You want some? Come on, what's up? Okay, this is the terminology. This is the language. This is what's used when you sometimes get in a position where it's very heated with one guy and another guy, and the testosterone gets so freaking high up there, and it's just, what's up? What's up? It's all about male dominance. And to the point that Chief was making in the chat, those fans are reaching. We see it, though. Nice. Exactly. It's just like a tweet I had put out there on social media once I was able to piece together what all had went down tonight. I said, and I quote, anyone claiming that Seth Rollins is racist for calling the person attacking him boy have honestly never been in a fight before in their entire life and are looking for clickbait to profit off of Seth Rollins. You've been warned, people. Don't fall for it. You got Twitter, you appreciate what I just put out there, go in there and make sure you retweet that, like it, and all that. Let me tell you something. This is real talk. Y'all don't know Seth Rollins. I don't know Seth Rollins. So we all collectively, we don't know about Seth Rollins. Some of these guys, we live vicariously through the work that we see of them on television, following them on their Twitch accounts and whatever stuff they're doing outside of the WWE. So, you know, we kind of have that little bit of familiarity with some of our favorite wrestlers through that type of capacity. This is the same Seth Rollins. So let me see if I understand this correctly. So all of a sudden, because of what Seth Rollins has said tonight, all of a sudden Seth Rollins is a racist piece of shit, right? But this is the same Seth Rollins that just about almost 3 weeks ago, he wasn't paid to advertise this on his social media accounts. He wasn't, far as I know, bartered into some type of a deal where he did the most kindest thing he could do for somebody else, and he ain't making a profit off it. Anybody familiar with Jonathan Gresham? Love that dude. You know, he's married to Jordan Grace and everything. Jonathan Gresham and all the guys over there at Ring of Honor, they pretty much were shown the door because ROH is closing and they're going to try to reimagine ROH. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, Jonathan Gresham decides, okay, you know what? It is what it is. It sucks. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm actually going to try to start up my own little promotion. I'm going to try to have something in the works here, and we're going to see what I might be able to do with this. And when Seth Rollins got wind of this, he put a really cool post out there. And I want to try to see if I can actually share that post with you guys, because he had a really nice, kind message for Jonathan Gresham here. Where is that bad boy? Let me see if I got that anywhere here. Because if I got it, I got it. If I don't, I don't. Yeah, I had it. Shit, I had it, and it looks like I did not. Well, actually, you know what? Hang on. Because I want to show you exactly what he said. Jonathan Gresham. Let's see. Yep, there we go. It was about a week ago that Seth Rollins had made the comment. So the backstory to this, Jonathan Gresham announced he's starting up a new wrestling promotion called Terminus. And it's basically going to be all about modern age grappling. And it's going to be coming January 16th, 2022 out in Atlanta, Georgia. And Seth Rollins had put out, go on his Twitter timeline. The timestamp for this is going to be on November 15th at 11:35 a.m. Those of you that happen to follow Seth Rollins on Twitter, go check it out. He said, one time a young Jonathan Gresham paid my booking fee when the promoter could not come up with the cash. So I would stay and work. We ended up tearing it up in front of about 6 people and had a couple more bangers months later. He never looked back. Invest in yourself, friends. I'm sorry, but if somebody is racist, the last thing that they're going to be doing is putting over, you feel where I'm coming from? All right, especially if they're not getting any of that money. They're going to be like, okay, why should I, right? Layman's terms, let's be real. They're going to be like, yo, why should I care about that black son of a bitch? Why should I care about what he's doing with this promotion? Like, I'm already over here doing my thing. I'm making my money and, right? Only somebody that like, yo, I really fuck with this person. This person is really cool. I really like this cat. Man, they are awesome. I had so much great experiences with them. Only somebody that, you know, is coming from a really good place. And my God, if you didn't even watch the Seth Rollins Stone Cold, what was it, the Broken Skull Sessions joint with him that I plugged. I put that joint over a couple of months ago. I said, you really connect with Rollins more as a person. Like, he's really been coming to his own with this new character development he's been doing as of late. But watch the Broken Skull Sessions. You really connect to this guy even more. Check it out. He's very personal, but he really comes off so freaking likable. To hear this type of stuff from people, again, don't fall for it. Remember, at the end of the day, these are people that don't know. Look, trust me before you trust them. At least I've been at this since 2011. I've had the opportunity to interview many wrestlers. I've had the opportunity to work for a couple of different wrestling websites, and at one point was my own editor-in-chief for a website. I'm currently working for a wrestling website. I've been in a position where over the years I've been able to befriend people involved in the wrestling business, still involved in the wrestling business, or it's a case where, you know, I'm able to befriend somebody knows somebody that's connected to the business. And when it comes to Seth Rollins, the worst thing I've ever heard about Seth Rollins over the years, oh man, yeah, he was supposed to come to blah, blah, blah event, and the guy freaking showed up an hour late. He didn't even apologize, and he was just rushing through the photos. He wasn't really personable. Now, maybe that's changed since his child's now in the picture, or maybe right before. But when I heard that type of stuff, that stuff was about 4 years old. Okay, 4 years old. So I don't know where he's at now. Hopefully that's changed. But that's probably like the worst thing I've ever heard about Seth Rollins. Okay, so what I would suggest you guys pay most attention to as the week progresses is how many wrestlers of color, and I'm including everybody, Hispanics, I'm including everybody just of color. Look this week as far as wrestlers of color jumping out there. And yeah, it's true. Seth Rollins is racist because right? Unless you see something like that develop by week's end, like there's nothing here. There's nothing. I shouldn't even have to be going as long as I'm going about this, but it's sad I even have to. But sadly, I've been doing this for so long. I gotta hip you guys to bullshit when I see and feel that there is bullshit that's being put out there. Now, this fan that attacked Seth Rollins, which should really be the main focal point, this ain't long-winded. In a nutshell, my darlings, it's like this. I don't give a flying fuck. And by the way, shout out to WWE for the statement that they put out. I got their statement. I got their statement right here. Hang on. Where's their statement? Hang on. Pretty sure I took a screenshot. Yes, I did. Here's what WWE had said in regards to the attack. They said, WWE takes the safety of its performers very seriously. The individual who attacked Seth Rollins has been turned over to the NYPD and will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. All right, so that's what WWE had to say in regards to that. I don't give a flying fuck how much money you paid for these seats, whether it be at a WWE event, Impact Wrestling, AEW. I don't care if you paid for a skybox. I don't care if you paid for courtside seats, right? I don't give a damn. It doesn't give you the right to spill out there homophobic, racist, sexist remarks. Doesn't give you that right. And it sure as hell does not give you the right to, I'm going to go physical with this person because I don't like what they had said on social media about, I don't like how in this interview they, right, you could try to justify it all you want for attack. No, I don't give a damn. I don't care how much money you pay. Doesn't give you the right. All right. These are the type of people we don't need coming to any type of a sporting or live entertainment event because they give the word fan a bad name because these are not fans. These are sick, demented individuals. Straight up. That's the bottom line. These people need help. They are the toxicity. They are exactly we as fans that mean well. We look at these events as ways of us to come together and there's this common interest that we all share and just the beauty that comes out of it as a result of going to stuff like this. The friends that you're able to make as a result of going to stuff like this. Being amongst like-minded people. You don't have to worry about being judged. You don't have to worry about being bashed. Come as you are, as you were, as you want me to be, goes a Nirvana song. I mean, it's literally just come as you are. No different than when you go to a concert. No different when you go to a concert. Hey, man, you black, you like Soundgarden. You happen to see that there's like four black people at a Soundgarden concert. Hey, man, you're not alone. you know, it's kind of one of those type of deals, right? So these are not fans that are doing what they're doing. They aren't. These are just assholes that are disrupting the flow of ultimately your entertainment when it's all said and done. You know, I hope that a lot comes from this. And I have one thing to suggest to WWE. I don't know how exactly, because I talked about how I also have worked in security. A lot of people aren't going to be going in depth on this the way I'm doing it. But one other thing that I really got to talk about that a lot of other shows are not going to be able to talk about because they don't have that security experience that I do. And that's this. Nobody should have ever gotten that close to Seth Rollins. What if that would have been a situation where maybe security at the metal gates or whatever, maybe there was some type of a slip and somebody was able to get past, and what if it turns out this fan would have had a foreign object? And heaven forbid, that would have been a case of Seth Rollins being shanked. Next thing you know, Rollins is in the hospital fighting for his dear life. I cannot help but question the security that we saw laid out because nobody should have ever gotten that freaking close. And this, what went down tonight, is a prime example of what happens when shit is just too relaxed. When you are just too relaxed and you let that guard down and shit like this happens. I just find that to be very mind-boggling. You know, to each its own, but for me, I was always under the impression that no matter what venue WWE was at, I was always under the impression that, you know, when the men and women are coming out from that gorilla position and they're at the top of that stage ramp and everything, I was always under the impression that there was one security guy pretty much right there and another security guy on the other side. And then when that wrestler is pretty much going down the ramp, I was kind of under the impression that those two guards that pretty much were right there, maybe they would kind of follow that wrestler midway to the stage ramp, and then maybe like two more guards that's on opposite sides would pretty much cover from there till the talent got to the ring. And then once they were within that ring vicinity, then you've got one security guard, two security guards, three security guards, four security guards, all covering all four corners of the ring, and then they're pretty much good to go. I was under the impression that's how it pretty much was laid out. And the fact that it actually was not laid out like that, I find that to be very, very mind-boggling. Now, look, I don't know exactly what the name of the security company was. If this is a security company that WWE, is if it's on their WWE payroll, or if this is basically a contractor. Like every single time WWE comes into town, basically as far as the arena, the building is pretty much, we got our own security. We got our own guys, they're going to help you out. But like WWE needs to pretty much put their foot down and say, no. We need to freaking go with somebody else. The hell with that. You know what I'm saying? So I see questions in the chat about how something like this could happen. I literally just answered your question. Something like this happens as a result of lacking security. Relaxed and lacking security. I just gave you guys the blueprint. I just literally gave you guys the blueprint. There's current security set up. The way they got this, it's poorly organized. It is poorly organized. You're talking to somebody that worked at one point over 10 years in security. Trained SPO. I'm a trained SPO. That means special police officer. I'm trained in that field. So basically SPO, they have arresting powers and all of that shit. I have friends over the years that were like, the big money, it's in SPO, especially if you become a armed SPO. You need to look into that. So, I filled out the paperwork. I got as far as actually becoming an unarmed SPO. I was trained in firearms, but I never freaking went so far as to take the exams to, carry the firearm and all that other shit. But I've been in opportunities where I either had to manage property on Georgetown campus, or I was doing stuff. I did security at BET. One of my first security jobs, I had worked at BET. And man, we used to have celebrities just stay coming through there. And man, definitely making sure that the talent was going to be all right when they came through. High freaking priority. So trust me, you're talking to somebody that knows how this shit is supposed to go down. I see another good question that's being brought up about, hey, isn't this the same fucking arena where when Bret Hart got attacked went down? You are correct. You are correct. And look, not for nothing, I'm not telling you something that most folks don't already know. But then again, when you're not thinking about stuff like this, right? But not for nothing. When I was here the night of April 2019 for that WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, what I'm saying right now about how the security and all of that was set up, literally the same shit that I had said on that Hall of Fame ceremony joint. But yes, this is the same venue in question. You got to go back to early April of 2019, Barclays Center, Bret Hart getting attacked by the Fan. So the fact that something like this can happen over 2 years later, this is totally unfucking acceptable. And whoever the security is, that, heaven forbid, it's the same fucking security. And I really think that this is my challenge, and maybe I will do my own respected research and try to find this out for you guys, because most guys are not going to be thinking this way. But I'm most curious if the same security company that was in play in 2019 is the same security company that's in play right now. Because if that be the case, then I can't help but wonder, hey, yo, WWE, what the fuck? What is it going to take for you guys to say, okay, you know what? We really got to switch it up on our security detail. We got to tighten this shit up, because the next go round, we may not be as lucky. Food for thought, man. I'm telling you, this does not look good. This does not look good whatsoever. But that is what went down there. I like Fan of Asuka's comment. They're saying WWE and WWE need to tighten up their security because they have had these types of incidents. Yeah, and then when you look at Seth Rollins alone with tonight, this now marks the third time that Seth Rollins has had some type of a extremely close interaction with a fan. Remember, there was one incident that comes to mind where a fan that looked like he might have came from a Korn music video. You know, Seth Rollins is just standing there, and, you know, he's at the top of the stage ramp. He's standing there. He's ready to go down to the ring. And then Seth Rollins just gingerly looks over his shoulder, and there's this weird looking, again, he looks like an extra from a Korn music video that's just standing there. And Rollins just has this perplexed look on his face, like, who the fuck is this guy? And security pretty much, they got his ass. There was actually another incident where something occurred where a fan actually got in the ring. He was quickly tackled, but it had involved Seth Rollins. But this is the third time. This is the third time something involving Seth Rollins. It's just very baffling. Very, very baffling. But home in on that. Home in on the 2019 Hall of Fame ceremony incident, which was at the Barclays Center. And then this. And the question you got to have in mind is, what is going on with that security detail? I will personally do my very best to research that for you guys. And our next show is going to be Wednesday. I will gladly come on here Wednesday, and any information I'm able to come across for you guys, as well as actually trying to reach out to WWE to see if they'd be willing to issue some type of a statement, depending on what I'm able to find out. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be doing this as just straight up Lee Sanders. I'll actually be doing this as a columnist and reporter for 411 Mania. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know if I'm not able to get a hold of anything. I'm going to be honest with you guys, but I'm definitely going to be doing my research to find out what's going on. So stay tuned. Wednesday, I'll definitely know a lot more. So that overshadowed a lot of Raw. Now, I know some of you guys are probably like, Lee, usually when I check you out, you usually do about a 45-minute joint talking about Raw. Yeah, not tonight. Not tonight. This was a pretty lackluster episode. You know, we got a couple of new champions. You know, which is all right. But this was pretty much a meh, you know. But hey, if you've been enjoying the show so far, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button. When you do that, you really help spread the word about our content. And you also really help us big time as far as the YouTube algorithm and all that goes. So especially with that great talk that we just had about Rollins and everything, if you really, really appreciated how I broke that down, definitely smash that like, share it all throughout social media. Appreciate that. By the way, once again, got to thank you guys for representing. A lot of you guys had checked out that Survivor Series show. There's a decent amount of you guys that were live with us. And then I saw the numbers picked up a little bit more for on demand and on the downloads. Appreciate that. So we had a great weekend with a lot of new people that had hit that sub button. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoy the content, enjoy your stay here and all that. It was pretty good. So let's keep rocking. Let's keep rolling. So we got some new champions tonight. No particular order. I mean, look, most of you guys saw Raw tonight. There's no reason for us to boom, 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 boom. No reason for us to do that. But in regards to Raw tonight, we got two new set of champions. First off, we've got a new 24/7 champion. Her name, yes, it's a she. Her name is Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke ended up winning the 24/7 championship from Cedric Alexander, who won the 24/7 championship off of Reggie. It was a straight up singles match that Alexander had against Reggie. And that match was over in probably about under 2 minutes tops, basically. Cedric Alexander, there's a guy I'm just shaking my head going, young brother deserves much better than what's been given to him. And I just can't help but think about Hurt Business not being that long ago and where all of those guys were. And we're seeing these weird spontaneous appearances from Shelton Benjamin here and there. And it's just so nerve-wracking. But yeah, so Reggie lost the 24/7 championship to Cedric Alexander. I don't know about you guys. I'm looking at that particular moment going, yeah, okay, we're pretty much going to do another rinse and repeat where we're somehow going to figure out a way to get the championship back into the hands of Reggie. If not in this same segment, then maybe before the night is out. Next thing you know, you had a big old entourage of folks come out looking to lay their claim and being the next 24/7 champion. Somehow through all the chaos that came about, Dana Brooke ends up getting a victory over Cedric Alexander, actually covering him for a pin. And 1, 2, 3, she becomes the new 24/7 champion. Now here's where this just gets really stupid for me. I'm most curious how other people are going to be talking about this, but here's where things get pretty what the fuck for me. So after Dana Brooke wins this championship, we see her celebrating. We've got all these men that are just standing there and they're processing what just happened. And all of a sudden they're just looking at each other like, what do we do? What do we do? Right? I don't mean to sound like Yogi Bear there, but it's like, what do we do, boo-boo? What do we do? They're literally just shell-shocked, just standing there. And I'm just looking at this. I'm going, okay, she's not pregnant. This isn't a case where it's Maria Kanellis when she won the 24/7 championship. Okay. Come on, guys. You've trained with women. You've probably been trained by a woman. Okay, right? You've done your share of intergender matches and all that. She's got the 24/7 championship. I don't remember no rule saying you can't frickin' pin a frickin' woman, so go get her. And they all just continue to stand there looking. I'm sorry, does she have COVID? Does she have HIV or something? She got herpes? Like, does she got some type of retro acid that's just gonna turn you into liquid ooze if she sprays it on you? Like I just was looking at this just baffled. And I just shook my head just going, this is stupid as fuck. I would have been totally okay if they would have looked at her, kind of processed, and somebody, like for like 5 seconds, and somebody just would have been like, get her! And she just would have hauled ass and everybody's chasing after her. I totally would have been okay with that. But we didn't do that. Right down to the point, they allowed her to get up on the top turnbuckle and celebrate the victory. Look, Dana Brooke becoming the new 24/7 champion, as far as I'm concerned, it is what it is. I know that there are a lot of people, believe it or not when I tell you this, that are big Dana Brooke fans. They have been rooting for Dana Brooke for years. While sadly, there is a majority of fans that do not share in those same sentiments and think highly of Dana Brooke. And as far as they are concerned, this woman has gotten chance after chance after chance after opportunity after opportunity. Meanwhile, you can make a claim that now at this point we're up to 80 people that have been released from WWE this calendar year. As far as talents go, 80. Think about that. 80 people have been released from WWE. Could you just imagine if maybe you're one of my friends that's a promoter and you're like, yo, I needed some new talents added to my roster like yesterday. There you go. There you go. If you wanted to start up a new promotion, like all those people that were released, that could be your new startup company. You would actually do pretty damn good with a lot of those people that were released if you think about it. But to my point, you look at those 80 names that's been released, and I wouldn't blame you if you sat back and said, yo, I'll take blah, blah, blah over Dana Brooke. You ain't going to get no argument out of me. Again, I'm not the type of person that's going to be coming on here talking about, yo, this person needs to be let go. Hey, this person, like, I don't wish a person's demise. But even I cannot deny that, yeah, man, this person's been given so many opportunities. Yeah, when's enough? Because, you know, we're kind of going off of what Nick Khan said, right? Remember that interview with Ariel Hawali? Remember that? Oh, yeah, what can they do for us? The growth and, something that can happen instantly, kind of down the road, and how long is it going to take? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so how much longer are we going to make the investment in, right? Where Dana Brooke really shines from what I've seen over the years is just the outreach program stuff that she's able to do. Mainly on her free time, the good PR stuff and all that. But it's like, okay, putting that to the side, like you telling me nobody else can come in there? And so her being the new 24/7 champion, it is what it is, as far as I'm concerned. I just look at it going over like a big old wet fart. Sorry, Dana Brooke fans, but it is what it is. It's sad, but true. We got new women's tag champions as Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley lost the women's tag titles to Queen Zelina Vega and Carmella. I'm not really sure how to feel about this, honestly. Let me take a quick swig here. I'm not sure how to feel about that. I'm a little conflicted. Here's where I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted from the standpoint of, okay, so we kind of just hotshot this with Zelina and Carmella. I mean, literally, we just hotshot this. But then I'm going, all right, I will let this ride. I'm okay. Ultimately, I'm okay with this because for me, the team of Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash, it just never really clicked for me. It honestly felt like we're going to just take you two and we're just going to jam you together in this elevator. And we expect for you guys to come out of this elevator after about 4 hours being a couple. But they're not my type. And, I prefer, well, it doesn't matter what you prefer. We're going to leave you in the elevator, and yeah, you guys just make it work. By the time you come out of the elevator, y'all need to be a couple. Straight up, y'all need to be a couple. That's how I looked at this experiment with Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley. The other thing, not for nothing. You know what was really a telltale sign, and it really should have gave it away for a lot of you guys, and that's the fact that these girls, prior to tonight, it's been a good minute since they had defended those tag titles on television or on a freaking pay-per-view, right down to the point, for those of you that might be a little bit curious and you actually want to know, yeah, other than tonight, when was the last time they actually defended those titles? I got your hookup. The last time they defended those titles, you've got to go to wow, I can't believe this, but it's actually true. Let's see. No, before that. What happened before that? Hang on. What happened before that? Okay, so it looks like they won the tag titles in, am I reading this right? Yeah, they won the tag titles September 20th of this year. And then as far as their tag title defenses, it went as follows. October 4th, and that was on Raw. I'm only talking about TV shows now, TV shows. So October 4th on Raw. I'm still looking. Looks like November 1st. Yeah. Looks, oh, actually, no. That was a Contenders joint. That was actually a Contenders match. So no, that doesn't even count. So yeah. Think about that for a second. These girls won the tag titles on October 4th of this year. And apparently they did not defend those titles until what you had got tonight. For me, the telltale sign was honestly Survivor Series. And it was like, yo, these girls aren't defending, they're not representing. They're not defending the tag titles, and they're not even representing being the women's tag champions. And I honestly felt that y'all noticed that, checked out the other shows. Hey, no NXT representation. What's going on here? And if you ever wanted to have your NXT women's tag champions involved, I mean, this was definitely the match to pretty much go ahead and do it if you wanted to. And the fact that they didn't do that, for me, I just looked at it as a red flag that, yeah, their reign as tag champions probably is not going to be lasting that much longer. Look, they tried. Honestly, they had no business freaking putting these two girls together. Rhea Ripley was just fine on her own, but lost in the shuffle. They really set that woman back. As far as I was concerned, they really did not properly utilize her to her respected strengths. Anything and everything that was good with her and NXT, why does this sound so familiar? Coming up to the main roster and pretty much just, we're kind of really going to start from scratch. Letting her do those uncomfortable promos, long talking promos and all that other shit, it just really was. She just should have been going out there and just breaking bitches. Straight up. That's how she should have been going in there. But we just did this lame ass. I wasn't feeling it. Nikki Cross, I got a lot of respect for this character that she created. When you learn the history of it, what inspired her and all that, you're rooting for her. You're like, okay, go ahead. Do what you got to do. But that never really took off. And what's really sad about this, guys and gals, we talked about this with a passion when her character was first starting off. I remember I was among the first, if not the first, to say, yo, what if you were to go in a direction with this Nikki Ash hero character like freaking, what is it, Steve Walker? Steve Walker from U.S. Agent? Like, what if you were to go in that freaking direction where you have her ultimately be this deranged superhero and kind of get a little bit of psychotic sanity Nikki Cross mixed in there and all of that, right? What if you kind of get a twisted persona like that? What if that is maybe the end game? Because a lot of people were thinking early on, yeah, we'll see how long this lasts because Rhea is probably going to be the one that's going to betray Nikki, because she's not really for this and all that. And maybe you can make an argument that as long as they're the tag champions, she's going to be pacified. But, sooner or later, she's going to get annoyed. She just doesn't want to have anything to do with. And you felt maybe it was going to. And I said, nah, instead, go the opposite. No, the direction that you actually need to go is having Nikki be the one to betray Rhea. That makes more sense. They didn't even do that. So just stop and think about that. You got these girls that lost the tag titles tonight just pretty much cleanly there. Yeah, you had a little bit of controversy that was going on. You had the referee that was distracted while, who was it? Carmella was delivering a series of super kicks to the face of Rhea Ripley. I'm trying to think there. While Carmella was working on Rhea Ripley, you had Nikki, who is in the ring, Zelina. They were the legal participants. Nikki was trying to come to the aid of Rhea referee was still distracted because Zelina was doing a little something, and then pretty much Zelina just capitalized, and that pretty much is how it went down. So even though you had these girls lose the titles, you go, okay, so now what? Like, can we see something maybe post-match where things maybe implode a little bit with Ash and Ash and Ripley? Nah, you didn't even get that. So that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. I'm curious you all's thoughts. I mean, but for me personally, I'm all right with the experiment now being over, but it just really comes off as if these guys just don't know what the hell to do with these girls next. It just feels like, all right, y'all are now cold. We're going over here now. That's just how it feels. We're just going to toss you to the wolves. We're done with you. It is what it is. Next up, the horrific egg story. The Eggman story. Vince McMahon and the whole egg. Look, can I follow up on some of the things that I had said in regards to Survivor Series, in regards to the egg? I get you guys that truly, and I want to make sure I'm really stressing this because I don't want to make it seem like I was just being insensitive to you guys' thoughts about, we were expecting The Rock. I wasn't trying to come off that way. Hell, even my own woman, when she got home from work tonight and, she was watching a little bit of Raw with me. Even she felt that with the pay-per-view, because she actually watched a good chunk of the pay-per-view with me on Sunday. Even she thought Rock was showing up just based off what she was seeing during the pay-per-view. Even she felt a little let down. Mind-boggling. It really is mind-boggling because The Rock, you would have thought that maybe he would have put out some type of a statement on social media thanking the WWE Universe, thanking Vince McMahon and the WWE. After all, this is a huge milestone. Rock, 25. You would have thought that something like that would have panned out and everything. By the way, I found myself being a little bit nostalgia in regards to The Rock. If you guys did not do so already, go check out the Ruthless Aggression series on the WWE network there, via Peacock or what have you. They got a really great episode on The Rock. I just found myself actually trying to look for the newest episode of Broken Skull Sessions. And it looks like, because I think the one that they're getting ready to put out is a joint on Jeff Hardy. I think that's coming out this week, actually. But I was looking earlier today because I was under the impression maybe it had dropped. It hasn't dropped yet. So I found myself going, well, you know what? I haven't watched the Ruthless Aggression series yet. Let me go ahead and watch that. It's like about 45 minutes each episode. So I watched one with The Rock, and they basically, the whole focus of this episode was about what all led The Rock to go to his Hollywood Rock persona, and it was really, really good. So if you want to maybe go down memory lane, or you're a newer wrestling fan and you weren't around for that first initial run of Hollywood Rock and all that, I thought what they did in that nice 45-minute episode is well worth going out of your way and checking out for sure. But yeah, I thought it was weird that, in retrospect, Rock didn't say anything. You would have thought Rock would have at least to all the men and women at Survivor Series. I know you're going to hit it out the home, hit out the arena. You're going to hit a home run. But, hey, all the men and women, go out there. You guys rock. You would have thought you would have seen some stuff like that. Nothing. Supposedly, he is out in Europe and he's filming a new movie. And that's kind of like the reason why. But still, it's like, man, you can't just pull an Austin Theory and you can't freaking do blah, blah, blah on your phone and just hit the send, make it go live on your social media platforms. You can't do any of that. So, yeah. So to have a pay-per-view end with an old man in his 70s looking for his egg, and there's no payoff. You're going. So then you're hoping that, okay, well, we're going into the Raw After Survivor Series. Surely the payoff is going to be big. Some people thought, maybe in some weird sense, maybe The Rock took his egg back, right? A lot of people felt there was going to be a big payoff to this, but the end result, we find out Austin Theory was the one that actually stole the egg. His reasons were very baffling, honestly, incoherent. It didn't make a lot of sense. Something about he came in there, he saw the egg, he decided he wanted to take a selfie with it, but then something about security being so tight, and I just did not understand what the fuck he was trying to say as far as why he took that egg. It didn't make sense to me. I have to put that out there to you guys. Did that talking point segment of his make any sense to you? Didn't make any sense to me. But he was the one that stole the egg. Vince McMahon pretty much told him he appreciated him being up front and all that, and told him he saw a little bit of himself in him, and he was going to give him a championship opportunity match against Big E for Big E's championship tonight on Raw. Seth Rollins was the one that not Seth Rollins, but Sami Zayn, got my S's mixed up. Sami Zayn was the one that pretty much did his own little digging, because he was trying to put himself in a position to get a championship opportunity. Yeah, that was the incentive tonight, where Vince McMahon said to Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce that if they did not present the suspect by the end of the night, both of them were going to be out of a job. So one thing leads to another. Sami Zayn gets involved, and then we hear that Vince McMahon has decided whoever finds the egg and presents it to him, they're going to get a championship opportunity. So we saw a little bit of tearing up backstage of the locker room, looking for it. R-Truth makes a nice little cameo. He finds a football, thinks it's the egg, and he kind of realizes it's actually a football, so he throws it down, and yeah. So yeah, Austin Theory, he was the one to find it. God bless Vince McMahon, seriously. But it just seems that as the years are progressing, we're looking at Vince McMahon. It seems like he's got to work twice as hard, doesn't it? It seems like he's got to work twice as hard to really exude that energy. You know, gone is that. Gone is that. Now it's a. Now it's one of those. The bite, the loudness is not as loud and sharp as it used to be. It's kind of sad. It really does. It makes me feel pretty sad because I can remember being such a young kid watching Vince McMahon and, all these. Trust me, I'm going to be extremely sad when the day comes and old man McMahon passes away, because it's like, other than my grandfather, who I cared deeply about, my Aunt Patty, who her and my grandma Brenda were very, very much responsible for my love of pro wrestling, getting me involved in pro wrestling and everything. Vince McMahon has pretty much, for me, outside of those cats, have always been that consistent, always there, right? Always there, no matter what phase I am in my life. He's pretty much always been there. And to see McMahon in this state is just, I don't like it. It really makes me sad. I don't know if it's from the standpoint of just mainly, and maybe it is from the whole mortality standpoint. Maybe also mixed in there, we really don't need him on TV. We're good. Honestly, good. Go enjoy your golden years, right? Right? You want to do some stuff in the back, that's fine, but we're good. Seriously, we're good. Yeah, this is a pointless fucking storyline that we had here tonight. The match with him and Big E, pretty good. They went about 10 minutes. Pretty much like the other matches that had went down tonight. Wasn't really a whole lot of back and forth drama that was here. So it was a decent little matchup. Theory, I thought, held his own pretty good. Rose to the occasion and all that for what he was able to do in there. But it was good. Post-match, Rollins goes after Big E. He gets laid out. And then Big E is trading off shots verbally to Kevin Owens and Rollins to pretty much end the show for Raw there. So yeah, that pretty much was it right there. But yeah, Theory's coming along. I'll give him that. He's coming along. Matt Riddle was in action. No Randy Orton. Randy Orton was not in action tonight. I know a lot of you guys were aware that Randy Orton had hit a milestone record during Survivor Series. What was that? His WWE appearance number what? 176 or something like that. And had he, as far as in-ring, I think it goes, and had he did something on Raw tonight, that actually would have given him the new record just by one. But he did not wrestle tonight. He did not wrestle tonight. I know Kane had congratulated him over the weekend and all that. If you guys didn't see what Randy Orton had to say about the milestone from over the weekend, it's worth actually going out of your way to check out. It was pretty good. You know, he usually doesn't talk about stuff like that, but it was pretty nice to see him be so sentimental, a little bit emotional, and retrospective at the same time. Definitely worth going out of your way to check out. Bianca Belair. Oh, yeah, I was talking about Riddle. Yeah, Riddle, Dolph Ziggler. Man, that pretty much was a squash match. RKO, Riddle picking up the win. Bianca Belair defeating Tamina via KOD. Was what it was. Post-match, Natty jumped on the back of Bianca Belair, laying her out. Bianca managed to fight her off, but next thing you know, Doudrop came from out of nowhere, beat the holy hell out of Bianca. So, yeah, it ended with Natty, Doudrop, Tamina walking off, looking on proudly at what they did to Bianca. So, Bianca trying to make a declaration that she's going after the championship, but she still has Doudrop in her crosshair. So, Doudrop and Bianca continuing their little rivalry there. That's pretty much the main gist of this. AJ Styles, Omos defeating the Street Profits via DQ when Dawkins decided he wanted to use a fire extinguisher on the guys. Yeah, it's just so. Let's see. Bobby Lashley defeated Dominic and Rey Mysterio in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Put the hurt lock on Dominic. It's about maybe, if you were lucky, that might have been about 10 minutes. You know, that one was, You know, I'm surprised we didn't really, honestly, I'm surprised we didn't go back to seeing a little bit more on-screen friction between Adam Pearce and the Mysterios. I'm a little bit surprised we didn't continue that. Not exactly the ending I had in mind, too, as far as the finish to the match. Mysterios make a really good team, but I just can't help but look at losses like this and just say to myself, how are we supposed to continue to be invested? I mean, yeah, the name sells, but you know, where are we going with this? Is this going to be a case where maybe Adam Pearce is just going to continue to show tough love to Rey Mysterio and Dominic, or does Pearce maybe pull Dominic to the side, tell him how, look, you got a really bright future ahead of you and everything, but some of the advice your dad's been giving you, you kind of, what is the end result here, right? I mean, it really feels as though seeds upon seeds upon seeds have been planted in there where ultimately we're going to see a split. And it feels like this split has been teased for a while now. Your guess is as good as mine as far as how well Dominic is going to do when he flies solo. Because, I mean, it's either sink or swim. But, yeah, that, I don't know, guys. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. U.S. title defends Damian Priest, Apollo Crews. Apparently Sami Zayn got thrown into this. So let me set this up properly. Priest presented an open challenge. Before the match, Crews and Commander Aziz, they pretty much were bragging about how great Crews is and everything. Priest ends up cutting him off and says, look, we're out here in New York City. You want to fight? Come on out here. Crews actually decides, yeah, I'm good. So Sami Zayn comes out instead. So it ends up being Damian Priest taking on Sami Zayn. Priest retaining. Average matchup. I would say this. Zayn did exactly what he needed to do going into the match as far as making Damian Priest come off like a freaking monster and everything. So, I mean, a little bit of work that he put in there, you know, he did good. Both guys actually did pretty good, but bit of an average match. Yeah, bit of an average match. And that pretty much was Raw. You know, as far as that big feel post Survivor Series was not there. It just felt like, well, usual Monday night. Yeah. You know, it felt like one of those type of moments there. Length of the show, definitely overwhelming. Lack of quality doesn't help as well. You know, you're asking a lot. You're asking a lot for folks to continue to invest 3 hours when the quality is not banging. So, decent show overall. Decent show overall. Not a trash, but a decent show overall. Hey, let's get into some AEW news. Actually, right before that, I do see some main event results for you guys I want to share with you all. Mansoor defeated Drew Gulak. Yeah, they did main event right before Raw came on. Mansoor defeated Drew Gulak. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo teamed up to defeat the team of the Viking Raiders, and that pretty much was main event. Dark. What is it? Dark Elevation, right? Is it Dark or Dark Elevation for this week? I think it's Dark Elevation. Yeah, Dark Elevation was earlier tonight. Tony Nese took on Logan LaRoux. Rio faced Trish Adora. Wheeler Yuta went up against Serpentinko. Frankie Kazarian went one-on-one with Joe Keys. The Bunny, Penelope Ford, and Emi Sakura all teamed up and took on the team of Chris Statlander, Layla Hirsch, Layla, and Rio Mizunami. 10, John Silver, Alex Reynolds went up against Main Event. Tay J, that's Tay Conti and Anna J, went up against Willow Nightingale and Erica Lee. Those were all the matches that came about for AEW Dark Elevation tonight. So, sounds like a pretty good card, honestly. Sounds like a pretty good card. And other interesting news for you guys. I don't know how many of y'all had heard about this, but it looks like Billy Ray and Velvet Sky, they are no more. They pretty much had been a couple since, my God, at least 2015, give or take, about 2015, maybe 2016. They've been a couple that long. And they both had announced respectfully on their social media feeds. This pretty much was a identical post. So I would imagine that with the post that they put out, I would imagine this is something that, because it was identical posts. So I would imagine, you know, once they felt, okay, yeah, you know, it is what it is. It's all good. Yep. They pretty much, this is what I'm going to say. Oh, okay. All right. Send that to me. Let me copy that. And yeah, they put a statement out there acknowledging it, and at the same time asking for their respected privacy as well. So I know that's going to make a lot of you guys happy that I know some of you guys are like, yo, Lee, I don't understand what a girl like Velvet Sky saw in a guy like Bully Ray to begin with, yo. Love is blindless, right? Yeah, that's a U2 song. Look that one up. Good lyrics to that one too, right? I mean, seriously, like, love has no boundaries. Love knows no discrimination. Love knows no, fuck the way a person looks or speaks or their race or their gender. Like, love is love, right? See, now you got me in this mode. Now I'm going in the fucking Sammy Hagar direction, right? I'm going in the Van Halen direction. How do I know when it's love? I don't know, but it'll last forever, right? But yeah, so velvets out there for you guys that are might be interested, or maybe you like Bully Ray. Maybe you think you now have a shot with Bully Ray. Go there. Hey, I want to send a shout out to Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega, you know what? A lot of respect for this guy. Seriously, I got a lot of respect for this guy, and I don't want to come off like I'm just now jumping on the bandwagon. No, I would say in the past 6 months, actually, I really started to turn a corner with Kenny Omega, and I just want to send him nothing but love, thoughts, and best wishes, because this guy went through some shit all these months. I did not know he was in so much discomfort and pain. He is out for some months. He's thinking until February is maybe when he's going to be coming back. But all the stuff that's being done, he's getting some minor surgeries that's done. He's getting surgery on his shoulder, his knee, and his abdomen, as apparently for the past handful of months he's been running around with a torn hernia, and he's also got a torn labrum and abdominal hernia. So he's been dealing with some shit. So he actually just over the weekend released the AAA Mega Championship. They put out a statement, AAA, the promotion, they put out a statement talking about how he was relinquishing the title and everything. So as far as that title defense against Cerro del Vikingo at Triple Mania Regia, it ain't happening now. He's relinquishing it. So I would imagine they're going to do some type of a tournament or do some type of something. They're going to figure something out, but a new champion is definitely going to be crowned that night when it's all said and done. But all those injuries that he sustained, and now he's going away. Look, when AEW needed him the most, he stepped up to the plate and he did his part. To carry the workload. When it went Jericho and then it went Moxley and then Omega, he carried his load and then some, especially when it came to working with Impact Wrestling. Contrary to how I might have felt when I had began briefly there covering Impact, contrary to how I might have felt, I got to give the devil his due. He was everywhere, especially for Impact. And when I look at Impact Wrestling particularly, he helped Impact Wrestling get one of their best buy rates within the past 10, maybe even 15 years. I mean, you got to go way, way back into the time machine to that particular period when Impact was doing pretty good pay-per-view numbers and all that. So he helped Impact for what it was worth. Now, look, things were definitely, for that hot little bit, the Impact ratings were pretty good, but then it just started to go lower and everything. And right, but he definitely did his own respected stamps, and not just helping Impact, but Triple Mania, just all across the board, right? So best wishes to Kenny Omega, speedy recovery. I don't know about February though. He talking about February. I don't know about that. You basically, if you getting your surgeries during the month of November, you talking about being back in February. So what's that? You talking about coming back in about 90 days, 90 plus days? Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe April. April seems more likely. Botch Guy, shout out to you. Definitely some interesting takes. I actually quite enjoyed the show tonight. I feel there was enough talking points overall. Really enjoyed that handicap match. Yeah, the Dominic and Ray match with Lashley, it was decent for what it was worth. I actually thought that they were going to get it at one point, because I remember they both did the frog splashes off the top rope there on the Lashley. And I was under the impression, okay, they're actually gonna do this, but then Lashley powered out and you're like, it's going to continue. What else are they going to do here? How else are they going to, it was pretty good how they actually had that match laid out. WR, Dana Brooke been in WWE for 7 years. First title for her tonight. Good for her. Glad she got a chance after all the hate I see about her on social media. Be nice people, geez. Look, there's nothing wrong with constructive criticism, constructive feedback. There's nothing wrong with that. But so for example, if a person were to say, I just don't see anything with Dana Brooke, I just don't find her to really connect to me as a fan. I don't think her in-ring work is even subpar. I don't even think of her as an average wrestler, honestly, just based off of what I've seen. Well, that person is entitled to their opinion, obviously. Just as you're entitled to feel how you feel. But if that's how they feel, then okay, that's how they feel. Nothing wrong with that. But I do agree, when you take it to a point where you're not going in that route, you're going more of a personal route, and that ugly ass bitch. I'm not saying Dana Brooke, I'm paraphrasing. It's like, that ugly ass bitch. And you're really going below the belt. It's coming off more of a personal attack. Now, when you're going in that direction, that's when you kind of got to pump the brakes a little bit and say, I think I might be taking this a little bit too far. I think I might need to, I think I might need to stop watching for a little bit, because the lines are starting to blur here for me, right? Yeah, teach its own. Steven had brought up a really good question during our Survivor Series post show that I definitely want to get into. It's not long-winded, but it was actually a really good question. It was just that it would have gone in a completely different direction, because all we were talking about were Survivor Series. So if you had missed the question Steven brought up on Sunday's post show was as follows. Lee, do you think Triple H should start his own company, buying Ring of Honor, take Shawn Michaels with him, get the WWE superstars who was released from WWE to pretty much help start up this promotion, right? So let's think about that for a second. That's a very interesting question. I have not heard this question before. Do I think Triple H should start his own company by buying Ring of Honor, take Shawn Michaels with him, get the WWE superstars who were released from the WWE to be part of that new Ring of Honor? First of all, good question. I like that. Good question. First of all, is Sinclair Broadcast even interested in selling Ring of Honor? That's the very first question. Are they even receptive to the idea of selling Ring of Honor? And if they are, what is their asking price? Now, we've heard the little rumors out there about the ROH library. We've heard some rumors about that. And, sadly, there's no real definitive, right, if the library is for sale or not. Now, if you're the WWE, that would be phenomenal to acquire that ROH library, just for the simple fact of Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Cesaro, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish. Oh my God. I mean, you just CM Punk, you'd have a field day with that freaking library. You would. There's new stories and everything that you could pretty much tell with that, So that library under the right hands would be if you were to ask me straight up, who would I like to see get that ROH library? I for sure would love to see WWE, just what they've done so far with some of their libraries. I've been impressed. I definitely would not want that ROH library to just sit there, though. But getting back on track, would Sinclair Broadcast even be receptive to the idea of selling ROH to the right person. If it's for sale, period. And what's their price? So that's the first phase. Now, let's say we get past that phase and ROH is selling. Now, the question becomes, do I think Triple H should go in there, get his boy Shawn Michaels? Now, see, here's the thing. In regards to Shawn Michaels, first of all, what type of contract does Shawn Michaels currently have with the WWE? You know there is some type of a contract that's in place right now, and he's getting a salary as a result. So the question becomes, how long until this contract he has with WWE is set to expire? You got to be concerned with the terminology, the language of his working arrangements with the WWE, and how easy it is, as far as flexibility goes, to get out of that deal, to even try to entertain this idea that you're bringing up. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, Triple H is able to get a hold of Shawn Michaels. The WWE superstars that were released, a lot of good names. Yeah, I could definitely, that'd be pretty good. That would be pretty good. I like that. And I think they would actually do pretty damn good. Right down to the point, I honestly feel that they would get a better syndication deal than what Sinclair broadcasts, and they've been struggling for years to get a really good TV deal. Think about that. So now the question becomes all about, and I get where this is coming from, because the main meat and potatoes of this story is a lot of people are saying what's becoming of Triple H's NXT babies. Either we've got a case where people that Triple H ultimately said, yo, we need to hire this person, or Triple H said, yo, yeah, definitely, yeah, I can see myself doing all kinds of cool shit with them. I'm going to sculpt them up pretty good. We're pretty much seeing all of Triple H's favorites, or projects, if you will, or his children, his babies. We're pretty much seeing all of them just being shown the door. Thanks for coming. Psh, go. And a lot of people are feeling pretty, and rightfully so, a lot of people are feeling pretty salty about that. We've got Triple H that pretty much is, but let's not lose focus. Triple H, I don't care if you were to tell me it's a minor procedure. He recently had his chest opened up. Okay? He recently had some form of heart surgery. All right? And when you get some type of work like that done on you, you got to make sure that you're taking it easy. Doctor's orders and all of that shit. You got to make sure that you're being smart. You don't want to cause no type of stress, aggravation, and all of that. You really got to be doubling down on your health. I know everybody, the talking point right now this past week has been, oh, look at the resurface images of Triple H. In case you didn't see it, Triple H, first appearance pretty much since he had the surgery. He looks slimmer. A lot of people are making it seem like he's Michael J. Fox skinny. He's not as bulky as he used to be. I will definitely give him that. He's not as bulky as he used to be, but he still looks extremely recognizable, and looks like he's doing a pretty good job staying lean and all that. So, good for him. But there's a new joint of him floating around with Steph, Vince, and other WWE personnel, where they're at what's going to be their new WWE headquarters, which is just a couple of blocks down the street from their current address for the WWE headquarters and all that. So, this guy is pretty much, it's all about his health right now. And one of the main reasons why he's pretty much stepped away is because of his health. What, is everything supposed to just be continuing on and he just gets bombarded while he's supposed to be resting. Like, no, the show has to go on. It's got to continue, right? So I get where people are coming from. They're seeing guys like Karrion Kross, and I mean, we'd be here all night just going through the names. I mean, even as most recent as Hit Row, you know, and we're all looking at the fact that these were individuals that all that they had in common, Triple H, and the way that Triple H was able to spin things and all that. I mean, look, I thought honestly what Triple H was doing with NXT, if you're asking me just straight up, just as a fan, I thought what Triple H was doing with NXT was great. I thought that the characters that he was building up, I thought it was great. There's no strings attached to that. I thought what he was doing was great. But, you know, sadly, some of these people, and even I've said it on the show repeatedly over the years, okay, yeah, they're doing pretty good in NXT, but how is that going to translate to the main roster? I said that with quite a few people. Karrion Kross being one of those people. I felt a little bit of concern for Karrion Kross, just based off what I had saw prior. And I remember saying on this very show, well, as long as the powers that be on the main brands stick to the blueprint that was laid out by NXT, Kross should be all right. He should be in a really good position where, okay, right? Just follow his blueprint and you should be all right. And, you know, if you ask me what has been very detrimental to NXT, you know, it's not so much that, okay, it seems that for the time being, Triple H isn't going to have anything to do with this new revamped NXT. No, for me, what has been a significant blow to NXT is the fact that NXT has been put on cable television. Because I remember a time when NXT was only accessible via the WWE network. And I can tell you, my God, the amount of people that were at that point my friends and or coworkers, hell, even family. I'm like, yo, did you watch NXT? This had went down. Oh, man, and then this match. And they're like, yeah, don't watch NXT. How come? Like, there's some really good talents that's over there, and one day you probably are going to be seeing them on. And I remember some of them, I used to say, well, if you like Sasha Banks, if you like Bayley, you know, if you like Charlotte Flair, like, you really should be watching NXT because that's where these girls had came from. And, you know, you had people back then that just, they didn't care for NXT. They didn't care for the great pay-per-views that NXT was doing with their little takeovers and all that. They didn't care about all of that. All they cared about were the main shows. And I bring that up to mention this point, which is, while you had people that just cared about the main WWE product, that was still very good for NXT at that time when they were just on the network, because, you know, what you were essentially seeing, you know, really was a developmental show, you know, within reason. But I think what was very detrimental to NXT as a whole was getting that USA deal. Because now you've got these men and women that are going to be seen on cable television every single week. And heaven forbid, it's a case where these men and women don't have their gimmick down completely, right? Heaven forbid they don't have the entire thing down completely. They're going to get chewed up and spit out online. There's going to be videos done about them, bashing them, you know, hazing them, the whole 9 yards. I'm sure many of you guys have seen some of it already. And the only thing that these men and women are guilty of, you know, for a lot of these folks, you know, okay, hey, I just got my training at the Performance Center, and, you know, I went through the advancement stages at the PC, and now I'm getting this opportunity to be on NXT, and, you know, I'm pretty much a work in progress. And, you know, on the one hand, It's great that NXT has pretty much gone back to its OVW roots. On the one hand, it's great that they pretty much are going that route. But then at the flip side to that is, yeah, but you got this cable TV deal. I think if honestly NXT just went back to being, okay, this is a network exclusive, or hey, you can only watch this on Peacock, I think that would honestly take a lot of pressure off of these men and women, because not everything is going to be money. Not everybody's going to be able to hit a home run out of the park, and so, Triple H's legacy, as make no mistake about it, as far as an in-ring performer, everything that he's done for the business, that remains intact. All the contributions he's made, without a doubt. Some people feeling as though what's currently happening with Triple H, his legacy with NXT, it's being erased, and you know what? No, for me, no, it's not, because every single time I look at Sasha Banks, I look at Bayley, I look at Charlotte Flair, I look at Becky Lynch, I look at Finn Balor, I look at Kevin Owens, I look at Samoa Joe. Look at all of those names that I just mentioned. All of those guys, Bianca Belair. All of those cats are doing exceptionally good. Exceptionally good. If they can get her ass back on track, Rhea Ripley as well. Toni Storm, we got to see. She was off to a pretty good start between really NXT UK. He didn't really do too much in NXT, just regular NXT, but NXT UK for sure. But she's up and coming. But I look at all of those people, and I consider all of them to be a success, especially under Triple H's handling, under his teachings and all that, and the way he was able to mold them and pretty much get them rocking and rolling and all that. I would say that his legacy as far as NXT, it's definitely still intact. This was his baby, his pride and joy for so many years. And honestly, in my heart of hearts, until we see an interview where Triple H is asked, hey, are you ever going to come back to the helm of NXT? And you pretty much, or have we seen the last of you and your involvement? Where are you at right now? If you're not going to come back, is it because of health reasons? What's going on? Until we definitively get that answer from Triple H himself, for now, I'm just going to kick back and I'm just going to see how all of this is panned out. We need to hear from Triple H, I'm done. Then we go from there. But until we get to that point, it's like all we're hearing is chatter. All we're hearing is opinions, is whispers, speculation. That's all we're hearing right now. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool if Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and that would be no different than saying, wouldn't it be really cool if Paul Heyman, J.J. Dillon, Eric Bischoff, Jerry Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, wouldn't it be cool if all of those guys just got together and said, yo, we need to go on ahead and see if we can take over Ring of Honor. Let's see if we can buy it from Sinclair Broadcast. And that would be a really good idea. But, there's some logistics that's going around. And, I'm down with daydreaming as much as the next person. But at some point, we gotta come back to reality. Good question, Steve. Good question. Appreciate that. Hope that answered your question. See what else here. Question: can't wait until Asuka, who's injured, Alexa Bliss, Lacey Evans, and Bayley return to WWE. They will definitely bolster the women's roster. Do you agree? They all respectively will be able to contribute in their own respected ways. There's no long-winded answer to that question. Yes. Simple as that. Yes. Who do I think? Who do I think Becky Lynch is going to be facing at the next pay-per-view? Is it going to be Liv Morgan, Bianca? Bianca's tied up with Doudrop right now, so we can pretty much forget that. Charlotte, you can forget about another match between Charlotte and Becky Lynch. It's pretty much over and done now. I don't know if you guys saw the emotional video that Becky Lynch had put out after she was done with her match with Charlotte. I would encourage you to go out of your way and check it out. But she was pretty emotional. She was talking about how her and Charlotte, they both pretty much were coming up at the same time. They went through some serious heartache. They were involved in a car accident together, and they went through a lot. And she was really, really hurt by some of the stuff that's gone down. But, you know, at the same time, you know, she had to go out there and, you know, she had to perform. And no, I don't see, they're done. They're done. I don't see them locking up again. I do not see them locking up again. Now that they both are, Survivor Series is over and done with. Yeah. You thinking maybe WrestleMania? No, I don't see nothing like that. They're done. They are done, which is for the best. Which is for the best. Maybe time will heal old wounds, but yeah, after what I saw of Becky Lynch in that, yeah, nah, I'm not seeing that. So, Liv Morgan is pretty much the one I'm eyeing right now. That's gonna be facing Becky Lynch next. They've already been laying out the blueprints left and right. I mean, those seeds have already been planted. So, some other stuff that we can get into before we get ready to stick a fork in it and call it DONE, done. I see a couple more of you guys been picking up the tweet there about Rollins. Appreciate that. A couple of more things we can get into. AEW Rampage from Friday. Pretty lackluster episode too. I was expecting a lot more sizzle coming from out of that Full Gear pay-per-view show, but they did 556,000 viewers this past Friday, so that's actually up from the previous episode, which only did 515,000. As far as that 18 to 49 demo, they did a 0.22 rating with 285 viewers in that respected age group. And that's also slightly up as well. SmackDown, that go-home show for Survivor Series, they did, meanwhile, 2.64 million viewers on Fox, slightly down from the previous episode, which was 2.104 million viewers. As far as their 18 to 49 demographic for this past Friday, they did a 0.52 rating with 683,000 viewers in that 18 to 49 range. So pretty good, pretty good. Also, I happen to be a fan of daytime soap, but I haven't watched in a good minute. My go-to is General Hospital. And the only reason why is because some of the cast members that used to be on One Life to Live, I'm mainly talking about Roger Howarth, he still on there. I know he was Franco, he was Todd Manning from One Life to Live, and now he's this whole new character. I think he's a Quartermain now. But I bring him up to bring up this point. Veteran actor Maurice Bernard, who plays Sonny Corinthos on General Hospital. This is wrestling related. Stay with me. He recently interviewed AJ Brooks, AJ Lee. He recently interviewed her on his podcast. And the thing with Maurice Bernard, he has struggled for many years dealing with depression and bipolar disorder. And he has seen his fair share of dark times, suicide, the whole 9 yards. And somehow he's been able to, right? And there was a really good story arc that he had in General Hospital where he was taking care of his pretend father that had dementia. And they told this really great story arc. Ultimately, the father did die of the dementia, but they had this really great story, and they were just brilliantly, they were able to tie it into Maurice Bernard's struggles with his mental health and everything. But Maurice Bernard had AJ Mendez on his podcast, which I would highly encourage you to check out, is called State of Mind. And all they do on that show is talk about experiences with bipolar disorder, suicide, things of that nature. And she talked about her first suicide attempt. And she said, and I quote, when I was 19 or 20, when I had my overdose and had my first suicide attempt, when I became a suicide survivor for the first time. I didn't know. I just thought it was just my brain, very matter-of-factly saying, there's a pain and we need to stop it. And that was terrifying to me, not understanding what was happening, but just like, oh, well, this is the solution. Then when you survive something like that, for me personally, and I don't know if it's like everybody, but for me, the scary thing is how it almost becomes, it stays with you. It's like always an option. It's like your darkness will always tell you it's an option. So that's something you have to fight constantly. And she also talked about having suicidal ideas floating around toward the end of her tenure with WWE. She said, and I quote, so the next time something scary got to that point, I was having really bad suicidal ideation. I didn't go through with the attempt. However, I did book a hotel room to die in because I didn't want my husband to find me. I didn't want him to have to deal with that. So I was just thinking very matter-of-factly. Nobody knew, and this was actually why I became a mental health advocate and why I decided to write the book and write about this, and this I haven't talked about yet. But from the outside world, it would have seemed like I have everything in the world. I was on TV, I'm a champion, dream career, got married, like perfect, wonderful year. But a lot of times with bipolar disorder, big life changes kind of throw you off. With the high, you're going to hit a low. So in the same year of my life, I moved to a different state. I got married. I got really sick. I had to take time off for surgeries. Actually, during one of the breaks I had, how this is because General Hospital has no time off. That's what wrestling is. No off season. Shoot, 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 shoot. So the only time I ever got time off was surgery. So me and my husband were like, let's just sneak a wedding in here. That's how we got married. So everything's happening really fast, and it's just like chaos and a tornado of highs and lows in life. But I was really sick and I was scared that I had to have multiple surgeries. Then I got hurt in the ring. Then my husband got sued. It was just all of a sudden that, there was stuff in my family. So it's all this stuff happening in the same year. So my career's great and everything's going great, and I have my husband, but my bipolar disorder couldn't handle it. It was too much for me, and I wasn't taking care of myself the way I should. I wasn't in therapy consistently. I was playing fast and loose with my medication because I was being really vain about it because I gained weight when I'm on my medication. So I was, I'm on TV. I can't. I'd rather be alive than have a six-pack. But yeah, so during this chaos, the only solution to me, the only thing I could do was just book the hotel room. That was my plan. So I'm just going to pretty much stop you right there. If that kind of whets your appetite a little bit there, just seriously, I already listened to it, but I can tell you this, I'm definitely going to be listening to it again. It's a fantastic listen. So you fans of AJ Mendez, definitely check that out. And yeah. So other than that, and of course, obviously, if you know somebody or maybe it's you yourself that's dealing with, a bipolar disorder, mental health, depression, you sincerely do have options that's out there to get you connected with the respected resources, help that you need. There's always the 24/7 suicide hotline that you can properly utilize as well. But check that out. It was a really great interview. So quick programming notes. Tuesday night, November 23rd, 2021, I will be live with you guys. We'll be covering NWA Power Fallout. I'll be on at 10:05 p.m. Eastern. this Tuesday night. So those of you that are going to be around, you want to say hello and all that, tune in for that. That should be a good show. Lineup looks pretty good, too, for Power. This week, we got Trevor Murdoch and Crimson teaming up to face the team of Jax Dane and Jeremiah Pluckett. The Pulp will be facing Chris Adonis. There's a social distance match. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Taryn Terrell faces Kinsey Page, and the Rude Dudes face Colby Carino and JTG. So that should be pretty freaking cool. Sound off. Let me know your thoughts about the whole Seth Rollins being attacked by that crazy WWE fan. Number of the topics that we got into on tonight's show. Love to hear from you. If you're new, welcome. You made it up to this point. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button. When you do that, you really help spread the good word about our content. Feel free to subscribe as well. Hit the bell notification, select all so you don't miss out on any future content that comes your way on a consistent and weekly basis. Get at your man here on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. Everybody that tuned in live, appreciate you guys. Those of you that's going to be checking this out for on demand and on the downloads, much love. And until next go around, wishing all of y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. Remember, we're going to be here Tuesday for NWA Power. And we're going to be here for Wednesday night, the Thanksgiving Eve edition of Dynamite Fallout. Catch y'all then. Take care, y'all. Peace.